It's Thursday in Vicki Kaufman's Bridger classroom, and her new fifth period students are about to change lives.
The number in front of the bag is the number of kids in the family.
Kaufman goes through all the instructions, place the celery in individual bags, 6 packets of ramen here, loaves of bread on top, and don't forget the apples. Once the list is checked, students are out the door and across the street to the elementary school. Glenn, a veteran of the march, brings in the final delivery. Kaufman has repeated this process with her classes every week for 10 years.
Do you have another bag for me?
Since Cole's Pantry was formed. The organization's goal is simple: provide weekend meals for kids whose families can't afford them.
Good job, buddy.
Kids are going hungry, and the meals that they're getting at school could be the only meal that they're getting for the day for breakfast and lunch. And so they need something at home when they go home.
It's a huge problem. It's 1 in 7 adults and 1 in 6 children in Montana, and that's a lot of kids. Even in a small school like this, it's such a big deal. And coming from like a bigger school district where there was a lot of it there as well, it's startling.
Can you get all that?
According to the Montana Food Bank Network, nearly 37,000 children live in food-insecure homes in Montana, though most every group expects that number to increase significantly due to the pandemic.
The rural communities and the small communities are, I believe, in my personal opinion, affected a little more. Because if you have families that don't have vehicles to be able to get to where there is economical jobs, the children are the ones that suffer.
Cole Pelican recognized that suffering firsthand at just 8 years old.
He was very concerned and knew that some of his classmates and kids in school in Bridger didn't get to eat on the weekend. And it was a bit of a mystery, frankly, for him why he got to eat 3 great meals a day. And so eventually he would sneak food out of the pantry at home, the family pantry, and put it in his own backpack.
Shortly after that, tragedy struck. Cole was killed in a ranching accident. So when older sister Fallon was trying to come up with an FCCLA project to honor him the next year, she and Kaufman knew exactly where to start. Cole's Pantry fed 11 kids in 8 families that first year, but word quickly spread, and pantries popped up in 4 other schools nearby. After 3 years, it was 7 schools feeding nearly 500 kids every week.
I think it has an amazing message, and that anyone can help is, I think, so important.
It seems to be such a heartfelt organization that you tell the story and people just say, how can I get involved?
By 2018, Brumfield's other daughter started a pantry at Huntley Project, and Brumfield realized she wanted to and could do more.
By that time, I had researched some of the sad facts, and I shared that with some close friends and created an amazing board of directors. And we thought we could make a little difference in the first year, and so we quickly pulled together our own fundraiser under Cole's Pantry umbrella, and were shocked in 2 months the results and the support from the community and family. And then last year in 2019, that tripled in size.
You guys just take one item and do it all the way through.
Brumfield and crew formed Cole's Pantry, Inc. and started to fundraise on a bigger level. The group came up with an event last year at the Metro Park Expo Center, hoping to sell 500 tickets, which they did in one day. How much was it?
We netted $130,000.
Before the day happened, was that a number that you ever had in your mind?
No, we were hoping for $75,000.
So the foundation is thinking bigger. There are now 20 Cole's Pantries across Montana, providing meals for over 1,250 kids every single weekend. When a new group applies, the startup costs are completely paid for. Cole's younger brother Chance has even started his own initiative, providing sports equipment to each new program to promote a healthy lifestyle. All the board asks is that each pantry figures out a way to keep it going through their own fundraising, which never seems to be a problem.
That goes in last.
Even the original in Bridger is still coming up with new ideas, partnering with the local food bank.
Initially, it had started by accident. You know, somebody arrived early summer and said, you know, we have some Cole's Pantry donations. And I'm like, well, I will hold them. You know, so we became a holding center. And that following fall, I came with a truckload and brought all sorts of food up here.
How much do you enjoy it? How much do you enjoy coming here?
I love it. I absolutely love it. It brings a warmth to your heart. You may not know the families or the children that you're helping, but you know that it helps. You know that those children are not going to go home or go hungry this evening. You know, tomorrow morning they will start their day not feeling like they're hungry.
An important rule Cole's Pantry established early on: the program is completely confidential. That's why bags are delivered to the elementary office. Only Kaufman and the secretary knows which family they're going to. It has encouraged more people to apply, not worrying as much about pride in a small town. But it's another quality that seems to provide all the fuel the pantry will ever need.
I don't want to take anything away from bigger communities, but there's just something so special about small communities. People rally around things like this and helping each other out, because it might be a cousin, it might be a close friend, and so people really jump on board with that thing. And you know, when you see fundraisers go on with small community, people come out of the woodworks.
Do you have an end goal in mind? I mean, are you trying to put a Cole's Pantry in every school in Montana?
In every rural school. Yeah. I said 2 years ago, my passion and what's been poured on my heart is to feed them all. So, and I think with all of the gracious support that we've gotten, that is a reality. You know, we'll have to have people that will pass the baton down to, obviously, but you know, we're 3 generations deep with this now. So, speaking of family, and that's a blessing in itself too.
Just as Cole was, and continues to be, for thousands of Montana's next generation. In Bridger, Casey Conlon, MTN News.